Hi, this is Ego Sensation. I'm with White Hills, and this is for Boxx magazine.
Well, thanks for speaking with us today, Ego. So I know our fans who haven't heard of you yet, we'll probably be curious about your name. Where did you come up with that?
With Ego Sensation?
Yeah.
Well, I decided I wanted to come up with a persona, a whole different name to give myself sort of permission to do a little bit more than I might feel is possible as myself.
Mm-hmm.
So the name came to me in a dream, and I really liked it, and I felt like it was a big name that would allow me a lot of possibilities and to be as open and free and as adventurous as I wanted to be. And plus, as you know, some other bass players have really cool names like Sting and Flea, and those were taken. So
Fair enough. So what first got you interested in music, and specifically the bass?
Well, I've always loved music. I have two older sisters, and they loved rock, and so I grew up listening to records. And I've always found music to be kind of my refuge, my escape from the world. I think a lot of people feel like that, and really connect emotionally with music. So I started playing music as a kid. I played piano, actually, as my first instrument. And then as a teenager, I picked up guitar. And then bass just came to me through playing with White Hills, because Dave is the guitar player and he asked me to join, and so I picked up the bass. And I basically love playing anything. For me, it's more about the song than the instrument. So I kind of like to dabble in all sorts of instruments.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So White Hills is sort of a instrumental, I mean, you guys do have vocals, but you have a lot of long instrumental pieces.
Yes.
So playing bass, how do you keep up your stamina or make it interesting to look at during those long interludes? Being Ego with your persona.
You know, when I play, I get really into the music, and I'm also a dancer, and so I feel like I have a lot of movement in my body anyway, and when I hear music, I kind of want to move to it. So I feel like when I'm on stage and maybe I'm just plugging away at a really straight sort of bass line, I'm kind of feeling the whole entirety of the music and moving my body, and I feel like the audience vibes on that kind of energy, that like we all, it's so primal to want to move and kind of dance to music, and so I feel like it becomes infectious when I'm just into the music and moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you guys have been really prolific in the past 7 years of existing. You've released about 12 or so albums. So where does the inspiration come to find the new material and release as much?
You know, they're just, it's endless. It's there's always new ideas. There's so many ideas that never even come to fruition. Ideas that we actually get through when we go into the studio and we're practicing and, you know, messing around with different riffs, and it's something we really like, but we put it on hold and it may never come up again. So even at times when we're feeling a little bit stuck, there's this whole well to draw upon. And it kind of just comes from the group of three people playing together, from listening to other music and just hearing something simple in another song that gives you an idea. It's kind of like a jumping board to a new idea.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are pretty active currently as well. You have a new album coming out in August, So You Are, So You'll Be. Where does that take you musically on this new release?
It's a record with a lot of peaks and valleys to it. It's a real journey. There are some things that we've done on this album that are a little bit different vocally, which I like, with sort of a real primal kind of tribal feeling to it. I feel like it's quite different from at least our last album, in a more urgent, there's some more urgency to it.
Okay. You guys also, I read that you're in the new Jim Jarmusch film, I'm sorry, what's the name of it again?
It's Only Lovers
Thank
Left
you.
Alive.
I had it in my notes. So you guys play yourselves in the movie.
Yes.
And you are at a club in Detroit, I think it is. So can you explain the sort of the scene you're in and how you were approached to be in the film?
Yes. So the scene takes place at a club in Detroit, and the main characters, who are vampires, Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston, and all the main characters come to the club to see this band play, who happens to be White Hills, because the film not only is a vampire film, but it's about the main character is a musician, and so he's very interested in going out to see specifically guitar bands. And so they come to the club and we play, and that's and then the scene continues. And we were approached to be in the film because Jim Jarmusch is a real big music fan, and he found out about White Hills through a friend several years ago and invited us to play at an ATP that he curated in New York a few years ago. And we always send him our new releases, and so we sent him the last one, and I think it just happened to be around the time he was sort of finishing his script and said, I want you to be in the film. So.
Cool. Well, on this tour, you're with Kailasa and Blood Ceremony, both of which also have female members and heavier bands. Have you guys sort of bonded or anything? Or
yes, very much so. It's a great tour. It's really exciting because it's the first time that I personally have ever toured with other women. And Kailasa is an amazing. Laura plays these really sick guitar lines. She's so good. And Alia from Blood Ceremony, she rips these amazing solos on the flute and on the organ, and it's a real honor to be able to work with them and be on the same bill and just have their energy, that kind of sort of female energy on tour, because it's very, this, especially this sort of genre, this general genre that we all sort of fit under in one way or another, tends to be pretty male dominated, sort of. Generally, the shows are usually attended more by men than women, though it's actually in the States, it's been pretty good on this tour. There's been a lot of ladies in the audience, but just in general, it tends to be like, that sounds kind of cool to have some girls around.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, I know coming up next, people can see you on tour with The Cult. You guys are opening.
Yes.
So in case our readers can't catch you on this tour, that's next spot. Anything else coming up for you guys in the near future?
After the Cult tour, we're doing a European tour that we're headlining. And then the premiere of the film Only Lovers Left Alive happens on December 5th. So that's what we have planned for now. Good. And our album comes out at the end of August 19th.
Perfect. Well, it's a big year for you guys. So thanks for speaking with us, and best of luck.
Cool, thanks.
Thanks.